Welcome to Kitchen 143. I'm your host, Michelle Aventajado, your resident Momma in Manila, and tonight we are out and about in Parañaque. We are here visiting City of Dreams Manila for the very first opening of Wolfgang's Steakhouse Grill. So for those of you that don't know, Wolfgang's obviously has had a presence here in Manila for quite a few years already. We have 3 branches, and this branch in City of Dreams Manila has a few things that might tempt your tummy even more to come in and say hello. Today we are privileged to sit down with Peter Zwiener, president and co-founder of Wolfgang's Steakhouse. We're here in this restaurant and I'm so excited to be chatting with him. Hi Peter.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great today.
I know you've been doing a lot of traveling. You're here in the Philippines for almost a week?
No, just about a week now, yes.
Yeah, fantastic. And Tuesday was a really big day. Tell us what happened on Tuesday.
Well, Tuesday was the opening of our first Wolfgang Steakhouse Grill in the Philippines.
Right.
It went fabulously well. We were so excited about it. It's number 4 as a restaurant of Wolfgang's in Manila. This one happens to be in the City of Dreams, and like you said, the difference is that we made this one into a grill, a Wolfgang Steakhouse grill.
Right, so I'm sure we're going to learn more about the little differences, but of course you can always come in and have your porterhouse for 2 if that's your habit, because purists like myself and Nino, of course, when we come in, that's the same thing we order every single time. You'll come in and we'll learn more about what's new. But before we even do that, you're almost 20 years in the business now.
That's right.
You weren't a restaurateur before your dad and you opened up Wolfgang's. You actually have a very different background.
Completely different.
Tell us about that and how that helped you create a vision for Wolfgang's ending up being like a global brand.
Of course. My background is actually, I'm an electrical engineer by major, but I'm a banker by career.
Okay.
So I was in the banking world for 16 years. I focused on emerging markets, M&A, and privatizations.
Okay.
When I was a child, my dad would always take me to a steakhouse that he worked at in Brooklyn.
Right.
It was a very famous steakhouse that was around for over 100 years.
Yeah.
And I had the opportunity to be eating steak almost every other day at least. And it was always great to visit my dad at work when he was doing that.
I would love to visit your dad at work too if that was me.
So while I was working, we always spoke about the potential of opening up a steakhouse together one day. And actually saying, why work for somebody when you have so much knowledge? So
this was your idea.
Yes.
You saw what your dad was doing and you knew you could make it better.
And that's exactly was the game plan.
And you have. Yeah. I will say you have.
But my dad he's from Germany. He studied when he was a younger person, as a teenager, he studied hospitality in the restaurant business.
Okay.
His family, he went through the World War II, but prior to that, they did own a little guest house with a restaurant as well. So my dad's dream was always to have a restaurant as well, and I believe he wanted to do this, but then when he came to the United States, got married, had children, he just had to focus on raising a family, so he never really had that opportunity. So as I grew up, I wanted to make sure that he can get that dream to happen, and I wanted to be part of it as well, and to work together with my father.
So with that first branch on Park Ave, you now have
32
Wolfgang Steakhouses.
Globally.
Yes. And quite a presence here in Asia.
Yes.
Right? So we'll learn more about that. But when you had that idea, that first opening, you had this background and you understood what it meant to cross borders, as we were chatting earlier, right? We were chatting about this. Did you see yourself in Asia?
Well, when you start a business, you really don't know where it's going to go. I like to tell you, I like to think big, so I don't like just thinking one unit. But when you have to start with one unit and you have to see where it takes you. Right. So I did plan to build it to another level, but I didn't know exactly where it would take me. And that's the fun part, not knowing.
Of course. And then exploring and learning about all these other different countries that you have a presence in.
Exactly.
Right? So for those of you that don't know, Wolfgang Steakhouse has presence in Japan, Indonesia, soon to open in Thailand, China. Of course, here in the Philippines, we're lucky, we're blessed. This is our 4th branch here, guys. You guys have lots of places you can come and visit.
Malaysia.
And Malaysia.
Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention, if you would like to check out Wolfgang's on Instagram or Facebook, you can, of course, check out Wolfgang Steakhouse PH, and there is also a Wolfgang Steakhouse BGC. So anytime you guys want to check out what's new or what's happening, you know, any of the holiday specials. I know Mother's Day is always the day you bring mom out for steak, which just passed. So tell us about what's new here in the grill.
Well, the grill, we decided to add a few more dishes. So at the grill, you're going to get the same exact menu that we get at all Wolfgang Steakhouse. So it's not a different restaurant by any means. It's the same Wolfgang Steakhouse, but we're also going to add some more value-driven dishes and to expand the menu somewhat. So, and the reason why we put the grill is because some of these dishes are going to be more comfort food, more like I said, value-driven dishes. So we didn't want to change the whole concept of what Wolfgang Steakhouse is as by itself.
Because it works.
Because it works.
And it works because also you have a hand in every single branch that opens, right? So this is one thing that you can count on. When you know you're going into a Wolfgang Steakhouse, you'll get the same quality, the same service, and similar interiors as well. I mean, it's always, you know, this warm, earthy, woodsy, of course, steakhouse feel. Very much just, it's elegant, as well as, you know, the guys can enjoy the steaks here as well as the ladies. It's enjoyable to come in. I'm excited to see some of the dishes, but I would like to know, you know, we talked earlier about the new concepts, well, not new, but the new concepts that you have opening, the new branches or new locations. How do you find, you know, the different countries, the different partners in the countries? Are you looking to expand widely, or are, you know, like we know the Philippine partner here, of course, Raymond,
well,
we know.
You know, we've been very fortunate that after we opened up our first restaurant in 2004 on Park Avenue, it was an instant success. From day one, there was a line out the door to open up to come and to eat at our restaurant. So many, you know, New York is a true melting pot. So you get many different people from different countries coming in. So after many people eat our food, they say, hey, we have to have one of these restaurants in this country. So people have approached us by saying, can we bring this concept to our own country? So the first restaurant that we did open was in Japan. So back in 2005, I happened to be approached by a very large publicly traded company to bring the brand to Asia. But at that time, in 2005, also there was unfortunately a ban of U.S. beef globally because there was BSE, the mad cow disease. Until 2013, it became open again to start exporting U.S. beef to a lot of Asian countries and Europe again. So in 2014, we opened up our first restaurant internationally, and that was in Tokyo, in Roppongi, Japan. And then since then, we've been just growing 3-4 a year in different parts of the world. And actually, in that opening is when I met Raymond. He came to that same week that we opened, and we discussed opening in the Philippines.
Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Raymond.
And then 2 years later, we opened up the first one in Resorts World, now New World Resorts. Then we grew to the Podium in Ortigas, then Bonifacio Global City, and now here at City of Dreams. And just a little bit preview, we're going to be opening up in Araneta City, hopefully in October, and in Boracay in
Bora too.
early next year.
Yay! So those of us who are beach lovers can have a good steak
Exactly.
by our crystal blue waters and white sand beach. We are broadcasting live on Rappler Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And of course, you guys know if you have any questions or if you want to know more about the brand, you can leave your questions in the comments down below. You mentioned when you opened in Japan. Prior to that, there were some issues with U.S. beef, right? And obviously, we're not worried about that anymore, thank God. But what separates Wolfgang's, I think, from every other place, obviously, is the beef.
Correct.
Right? And, we know everywhere and any restaurant that we keep coming back to, it's about the consistent quality. And I think it has to be mentioned, the quality with which the beef is even brought in.
That is very correct.
Okay, so let's tell our viewers a little bit about the USDA beef, your standards for, what you envisioned this to be and how you make it or how you provide it consistently throughout all of the branches all over the world.
Yeah, exactly said. Like you said, all our steak that we serve at Wolfgang Steakhouse is USDA prime beef. It's never frozen, it's only chilled.
Right.
We deal directly with a purveyor who has great relationships with the best abattoirs in the United States. They're all either Angus or Black Angus cattle. When they are slaughtered, they are shipped to us directly. We do not deal with other people that can age our beef. We age each store or all around the world, age it the same way. We build these aging rooms or aging boxes in each one of our restaurants, and we age it ourselves. So we're in control of the aging process.
Right.
We buy subprimal cuts of beef, which is short loin, strip loins, ribeyes, and then also the pismos, which are the filet mignons. We ship them directly through an exporter. An importer takes them and brings them directly into our restaurant, and we put them in the aging room.
So they're not aged there. In each location, it has their own aging box.
Exactly. In each location, we age it on premise.
Right.
So all our beef is aged on premise.
To your standards, this is the way you've done it, even in Park Ave, everything is done the same way.
So the piece of meat that you would be eating here in the Philippines, in the City of Dreams, could be the same exact steak that you'd be eating on the Park Avenue or the Tribeca or in Japan. Right. It's all comes from the same cattle and purveyor. But all this beef is USDA prime, and again, we stress that because most restaurants don't serve prime. Prime is only 2% of all cattle in the United States.
Wow, okay.
So the other 98% is choice, select, or not even rated. And also, we only deal, like I said, with the subprimal cuts of short loins, strip loins, ribeye, or filet mignon. Yeah. In the grill, we're going to be adding some extra cuts. So that's going to be we're going to be doing flank steaks and skirt steaks as well. Yeah. But in no other of the restaurants do we do that, and that's one of the differences of the grill.
I think we're going to taste some of that.
Yes, we are.
Taste them today as well.
Exactly.
So also in the grill here in City of Dreams, we will also in the grill in the City of Dreams, we will be trying some of the new salads, right? Because there's salads that are here that are not available in the other 3 branches in Manila. So if you want to try these, you got to make sure to come down to City of Dreams to the Wolfgang Steakhouse Grill. Okay, so I think one of them's coming on cam soon, so we can try that.
This is your burrata salad. This portobello mushroom with a pesto on side, and then aged balsamic with a sauteed capsicum, and then basil burrata.
Thank you.
Light and creamy for your start.
Thanks, Erwin. So of course, portobellos are a huge treat, but to have them with burrata, which of course, burrata is like a new thing, right? Like if my nana was still around and you'd ask her about burrata, she'd be like, no, there's no such thing. This is definitely new.
Yeah,
I'm excited to try this.
Yeah, burrata is fabulous. It's definitely very milky inside. So once you cut it, it does have it sort of leaks out a little bit.
Thank you for having us, Peter.
No, it's our pleasure. Thank you for coming.
So good. Of course, when you have steak, we have to have wine. Do you prefer? Would you like some? I'm just going to take a little bite.
No, please.
Okay. Whenever we would come to, I'll cut this so that it's. Whenever we would come to Wolfgang's, Nino and I, it's like a place we'd steal away for a date, away from the kids, and of course we enjoy the porterhouse, the tomatoes, even the steak sauce. So if you guys know, having the porterhouse with the steak sauce, the old-fashioned sauce, of course, is a must. What's your favorite item on the menu?
Well, porterhouse for two. But everything is fabulous because otherwise we wouldn't put it on the menu. But in reality, the Wolfgang Steakhouse brand is built upon the porterhouse. All our beef, essentially, but the porterhouse is the main product that we sell.
It really is. So you have branches. You started on Park Ave. You have branches in Manhattan. I think 4 or 5 branches.
We have 5 in Manhattan.
5 in Manhattan. And now you also are in Boston.
That's correct.
Hawaii,
and we're actually opening up a second one in Hawaii in Maui. Right now we have in Waikiki.
Right.
We just expanded it to double the size, so it's a very large restaurant. The Maui we should be opening up in November of this year.
Okay. I'm glad you mentioned the bigger size in Hawaii, in Maui, or in Waikiki. I noticed also, as I was reading up as well, in Manila, some of the steakhouses are a bit smaller, and by smaller, they're not really small, guys. They still seat quite a few people. It's smaller in terms of like what the bigger steakhouses that you have
Correct.
all over the world would be. The reason for that, why would we do that here?
Yeah, well, the average steakhouse size for us globally is about 6,000 to 8,000 square feet, or you can just say 600 to 800 square meters.
Right.
The largest one we have is about 1,500 square meters. But in the Philippines, we decided to go smaller because the traffic is very intense here in Manila.
Someone did their homework about the traffic.
Well, I have a great partner, so and then plus I spent a lot of time here now,
Right.
so I could see that. But we decided to go small
Right.
and open up in different strategic areas of Manila. So our first one happened to be, like we said, in Resorts World, now New World Resorts. Did so well, we decided to continue opening, and then we decided to go to the Podium in Ortigas, and then BGC,
Right.
and now we're here in the City of Dreams, and like I mentioned, we're going now a little bit further north up to Araneta City, and then start expanding throughout the Philippines into Boracay.
Bora will be beautiful, I'm sure.
But it's definitely on the smaller side. Most of our restaurants are more in the range of 170 to 250 square meters.
That just makes it easier for all of us to find our location and visit. And if you're a creature of habit like me, you'd end up going to the same branch. But Nino and I have visited the BGC branch recently, and the New World, the Resorts World. New World Resorts.
New World
now.
Resorts now.
Yeah, now, but Resorts World from before. So I like that, strategic, of course, is important for us that have to sit in the car and the traffic can get there. So.
And also something we've done, and again, it was a great idea from my local partner here,
Raymond.
is we have the catering division and the curbside
The
division,
trucks,
and
yeah.
which worked well during the pandemic time period.
Yeah,
So
I
we were able to expand our concept even when we don't have a location in certain areas,
Right.
and we've done a few pop-ups already where we can bring the Steakhouse brand to these areas.
And to people's homes. I know during the pandemic when people wanted to go out, we couldn't go out.
Exactly.
The trucks were the ones that were going, the catering trucks were going around to everybody.
Very much so.
Yeah, and how innovative in terms of like all of us who did miss those going out to the restaurant and miss those evenings, with family and friends when things started opening up. So Yeah, that was really innovative. I remember seeing that. Is that something that you've done in any of the other Asian countries?
We do catering in some of our other countries. One that recently is in China too. We have a trailer actually that goes around the area of Beijing, and so we've put the trailer into a ski resort area recently in the Chongli for about 2 months. Now we're bringing the truck or the trailer to a beach resort area. And we're getting a lot of requests to bring
bring it wherever
around town.
Wherever the carnivores are.
So
if
someone can't make it to our restaurant, we bring the steak to them.
See, consistently,
Exactly.
no less. Consistently, no less. So there are some other things that are new on the menu. We won't get to see all of them today. Of course, we're going to try and condense as much as we can so we can share our faves, burrata salad being one. There's some other things coming out, but what you can look for, we had a good laugh, Peter, of course. So there is something new on the grill menu here in Wolfgang Steakhouse Grill in COD. There's a vegan burger. So for those of you that bring the family members down, there's always one that's sitting at the table that doesn't like steak. I don't know why you wouldn't, but you can even have a vegan burger, right? So there are sandwiches that can be for everyone. Vegan. The burger is still here. We still have the burger, but then there are some other options. I love that there is a little bit of Asian influence, just a little. If you guys know the sides, they're usually the starches are like the German potatoes, but now there's also Japanese rice. I bet you added that when you opened up your Japanese branch.
That's right. When we opened up in Tokyo, one of the things we had to do was to add rice
the
to the menu.
Japanese rice and steak rice too.
Exactly. And garlic rice. So there's different ways of preparing the rice. So it's growing.
All these different rice. Of course, when I eat steak, I need the potatoes, but Mino loves having the rice as well, so even the kids.
That's a great compliment. Yeah, I like the rice too. So.
You do?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay. Well, Peter likes it. All right. So some of the other new items that you can see on the menu here. I think we're going to be seeing the skirt steak.
Yes.
Yes. This one, we'll see that, so that'll be coming out.
And it'll be prepared as a lomo saltado, which is a style.
Tell us about that.
It's a sliced skirt steak that's stir fried with some vegetables, tomatoes, onions, and then served on a plate.
And the influence there.
Oh, it's a Peruvian dish. My mother happens to be Peruvian. Our local chef here too also happened to work in a restaurant that had some Peruvian. But we're not making this into a Peruvian restaurant, but it was just happened that we wanted to serve our steak in a manner, especially the skirt steak, a little bit different than just a grilled steak.
So it's the lomo saltado, and then there's also an char-broiled flank steak that is offered. That is not offered anywhere else either, right?
Oh, that's correct. The skirt steak and the flank steak are not offered anywhere else in Wolfgang's, anywhere worldwide. It's just here.
It's a grill option.
It's a grill option. It's a different cut of beef. It's not as premium as the porterhouse or the New York strip or the ribeye.
It's still a good steak.
But it's still a great steak, and it still comes from a USDA prime cow. So it's going to be fabulous.
It's going to be fabulous. It is fabulous. And then we also have short ribs.
Short ribs is one of my new favorites as well because the meat just falls off the bone. It's so tender. It's amazing.
Yeah, short ribs really, when it's cooked the right way and it's so tender, and you can just eat it with a fork.
Exactly.
Right?
Amazing.
But there's another type of rib that's also being served.
And there's a baby,
not in the others. Right?
Exactly. Well, actually, in Beverly Hills, we used to offer it as well.
Okay.
It's the baby back ribs.
Okay, so it's a rack.
It's a rack. So we'll either offer a half of the rack or the full rack.
Yeah. So you can come for ribs. You can come for different cuts of steak. Obviously, USDA prime steak, and then of course you can come for the other options. There's seafood. So for those of you that didn't know that Wolfgang Steakhouse has seafood, there's grilled salmon, of course, there's lobster, right?
Of course.
There is the jumbo for the appetizers. We also always, one of the things that we would get to is the jumbo shrimp cocktail, of course. We get that too.
With Wolfgang's, we do focus only on the prime beef, but everything else on the menu, like you said, the seafood and even the vegetables are all the best that you can find in the market.
Right. Which is quality. It's really about, I think, what keeps everybody coming back is the quality and the consistency. So I think we have to make room here. We got another one. Okay, you can just put it here. All right, I'm wondering if the next time you bring in, you can't come this way. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so it looks like he just brought the lomo saltado out.
Yes.
This is the
that's a skirt steak. Yes.
Okay. All right. So the different cuts that normally, obviously, very different than the porterhouse, but the skirt steak is actually, I feel like it's an underrated steak.
Yeah, it's not as tender as the porterhouse or the filet mignon.
Yeah.
But it's quite tasty.
We can show it some love.
Yes, we can.
We can show it some love.
And if you prepare it in a certain way, it's actually it's a delicious meal.
Fantastic. I'm gonna try a bite. I'm excited to try this, and it looks like we also have kimchi fried rice here, and this was the short ribs.
That's the short ribs, and it's very tender. It falls off the bone, as we said, and it's quite delicious.
Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of the.
And what's on top of the lomo saltado is a cilantro sauce, which goes very well with the flavors of the shrimp.
Tomatoes here.
Tomatoes, onions. It's like a stir fry.
Can I serve you, Peter? Will you have?
Oh, sure.
Any?
I'll join you for.
Okay, I'll
for
just let's see if we can. I'm asking to serve you, but we don't have the serving. Hold on. Thank you. So we can serve. I can do it here. Thank you. And you'll have some tomatoes as well.
Yeah. Or you want to?
You can serve? Okay, that'll be great. That's usually how it's done. I have already, thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
That's okay. Thanks, Fred.
Perfect.
You want the tomato?
Sure, give me a tomato.
Like it?
So with every dish that comes out, and even these new dishes now, obviously you have tried everything, you've given input and how you would like it to also be served, no?
Yeah, no, especially the flank steak and the skirt steak, and because it's not typically on our menu, we needed to prepare it in various ways, which we wanted to make sure was served the best way.
So fresh.
Yes. And the flavors together combined with the skirt steak is fabulous.
So this is Peruvian influence?
It's Peruvian influence, yes.
Just like Mom. So
Just
Mom
like
is
Mom.
Peruvian.
Correct.
Dad is German. Growing up at home, what did you normally eat when you weren't visiting Dad at the restaurant?
I would eat just normal. We'd eat chicken soup. My mom would also cook steak every once in a while. We'd have pasta, fish. So we basically every day had a different type of, wasn't just one type of meal, but my mom always made it interesting for us.
Yeah, I think moms also are the ones that kind of set the tone for how we eat, how we enjoy our food, obviously, at home, and even when we grow up and take those, I guess those food values or our love of food, how we take them out of the kitchen as well when we come and visit restaurants. So these are some of the new items that you can see on the Wolfgang Steakhouse Grill menu. If you want these items, so kimchi fried rice, the barbecue short ribs, beef short ribs, the skirt steak lomo saltado. I got tongue-tied a little there. And then there's a few others that you can look for. The cream corn is also new. That's new for the side dishes. But there always is the cream spinach and the potatoes as well. You can also look for the roasted chicken. This also has a Peruvian influence as well. So this is roast chicken a la brasa. What makes that a little bit different?
Well, it's just a style of cooking and some of the seasoning on it, but it's just a roasted chicken, somewhat plain, and very delicious though.
Yeah. Who doesn't love roasted chicken?
Exactly.
Everybody loves roasted chicken.
And usually at Wolfgang Steakhouse we don't have a chicken dish, so we decided in the grill
the
to
fish
have
and
fish
the
and steak. Correct.
And now you have chicken. Great. And a vegan burger.
And a vegan burger.
which we had a good laugh about.
But you do know that many vegetarians come to our restaurants even without the vegan burger because our vegetables are so fresh. And we get them from the best farms we can find locally. And we support the local market all the time. And
which is really important. I think if, we know that we can count on the USDA Prime, the extras, the side dishes, the different things that are grown here, of course. Fresh is best would be here, right? So for those of you guys that want to come in, there are other dishes as well. I know that I think we brought out these three or four new dishes. There are other ones. There's also an arugula salad that you can look for. That's also new. It's only offered here.
That's correct.
And there's also, let's see, the wedge salad too. For some reason I thought the wedge.
Well, the wedge
salad
is basically a classic salad that sometimes we don't even have it on the menu, but every steakhouse has it, so it's not really an original salad.
Right?
But it is a wedge. It has blue cheese, a dressing with bacon's pieces, so it's fabulous as well.
The bacon is new. The curabata, I think I remember.
Well, that would be a curabata, the bacon piece strip. So
that's a new app, no?
That's a new appetizer, correct.
Fantastic. So guys, there are apps that are new. Of course, some of the steak cuts that you may not see in the other restaurants you can find here, of course. And there is the Wolfgang Steakhouse Grill is opening a second branch, and this version of it will be in Araneta as well. So you can look for some of these and maybe even some other surprise dishes.
Exactly, of course. We got to keep it interesting.
Changing it up just a little so you guys can come and visit for new things on the menu. So as we have our meats, our new dishes here, what goes best with our steak, of course, is wine. I'm sure there is an extensive wine list that everybody can enjoy.
And at Wolfgang's, exactly what you said, we need to actually pair our steaks with fabulous wines. So we have wines from all over the regions, all over the world, globally. We're always rated as one of the top restaurants with one of the best wine cellars globally. And Wine Spectator, we always rated one of the highest ranks for our wines. We'll have wines though at every price range as well. So we have the generic, very good wines. Though we're never going to have a bad wine in our restaurant.
No, of course not.
And to some wines that are fabulously well regarded,
for the connoisseurs, for the somms that would enjoy them with a good piece of steak. So of course, you guys know when you coming to Wolfgang's means that you can come with the family, you can come for a business meeting, an important business meeting with clients, you can come with the ladies, or of course even the men when they're ready to come out. And here, of course, in City of Dreams, I'm sure some of the gentlemen come and enjoy the steak. But I think what I like most about the new additions for the grill menu is that there really is something for everyone.
Yes.
There was always something for everyone, but now there's something for everyone even more.
Even more.
With the different cuts and the different flavors. I was surprised to see the kimchi fried rice.
This is not the first time we're going to have kimchi in our menu, though, because in Korea we do have a kimchi dish as well. As a side dish, it's aged kimchi.
Right.
So this is only the second time now we're going to have kimchi in our menu, but in a fried rice form.
Yeah, and kimchi is so good for the tummy, guys. I don't know if you know, all the different probiotics and the good bacteria that kimchi brings. It's very good for your tummy. So that's one of, at least for me, I know when the kids have tummy aches,
Oh, you give them kimchi.
I'll cook up something Korean and the kimchi. Yes, thank you. Okay. So when you come and enjoy a steak here in Wolfgang's, you can expect superior service, of course. This is service that you can expect all throughout. Thanks, Fred.
Yeah, pleasure, ma'am.
Yeah. And it's the same way in every steakhouse that we would visit. I know that you have.
Well, that's part of the Wolfgang culture. As you said, it's quality food, great service, great ambiance, great wine.
Yeah.
And that's really makes the restaurant what Wolfgang's is all about.
Which makes for great memories when you're celebrating, of course, when and you don't need a special occasion to celebrate, but for me and Nino, of course, I'll steal away from the kids, and that's my special occasion to get a little bit of a break. So we have, I believe, the porterhouse that's coming out.
And that's my favorite, as you when you asked earlier.
Yes, that's our favorite too. But the porterhouse for two, it actually, you can have it for the whole family.
Well, for as many people as you want. We just call it the porterhouse for two because that's we believe that that's the right size, but depending on your appetite, right?
Yeah.
So and
I think
also
it's meant to be shared. So depending on your appetite, you can order also the bigger sizes. Right?
Exactly.
And this is, you hear that sizzle. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but this is exactly what you come to. Thank you. There it is. How special. Thank you.
So this is our USDA prime porterhouse. The right side, the longer side, is a sirloin steak, and the left side, the smaller, is a filet mignon.
Yes.
So that's the beauty of having a porterhouse steak, because you get two steaks, two style of steaks, sirloin and filet.
Fantastic. Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay. This is the exciting part. Does it hurt you when someone orders a steak well done?
No, I mean, I prefer it rare, but I always tell people you should get it the way you like it. So it doesn't.
It hurts me.
It hurts you.
It hurts me when I see someone order it well done.
It's such a high quality beef that the more you cook it, the less it becomes special if you overcook it.
Yes, agree.
So, but
agree.
Again, everyone should have the steak the way they like it prepared.
Okay. We won't judge them. Yes, please. This is a no judging zone.
No, for me, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay. And then what do we have on the other side?
The charbroiled flank steak.
This is the charbroiled flank steak. So this is what we can expect. This is only available here in the grill.
Exactly.
So again, looks fantastic.
So let's try it.
Let's try it.
Okay.
Without further ado.
So you're going to see that in the sirloin, it has more texture, more earthy flavor, and the filet mignon is more tender.
So good. I took a bite of the filet first.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So I'm gonna enjoy the sirloin.
And this is all dry aged on premise. So why we dry age is to provide the tenderness over a certain time period, and also a flavor profile that changes a little bit. We on average like to dry age our beef 28 days. Could go a little bit longer, but in general, that's the Wolfgang model is about 28 days.
For 28 days. Thank you. I'll just have a little. Yes. Yes. Thank you.
And this beef is aged perfectly.
It's so good.
And the tenderness is
so
amazing.
tender. For those of you that haven't yet tried, you need to come down and try the porterhouse for two, of course. You can try the other ones if you like. But if I'm going to come with Nino, I'll be sure to have this. The flank steak, the other one, the lomo that we had, also very tender, super bright in flavor with the cilantro sauce. I will dig into that short rib a little later, but you guys really need to see how tender this Medium rare. Done so well. So delicious. Truly the best steak in Manila. Okay. When we end our shows, we usually do like a rapid fire.
Okay.
And it's kind of fun. Of course, we like to liven it up. And, you know, I'm so sad that we have to see you go. I'm sure you're going to be off to traveling to different countries all over the world, making other tummies happy with Wolfgang Steakhouse restaurants. But we talked about how you didn't really cook so much, but if you did, who would be the biggest kitchen influence in your life?
My father.
Wolfgang himself.
Exactly.
Favorite food as a kid?
Steak.
Still your favorite food?
Still my favorite
Of
food.
course. Favorite cuisine as an adult?
Steak.
Steak is a cuisine, guys. What color is your kitchen?
White.
Favorite pastime when not traveling the world with Wolfgangs?
Skiing.
What is your comfort food?
Hamburger.
A Wolfgang's hamburger.
Of course.
What's your signature dish?
It's a porterhouse for two.
Yes, it is. Music in the kitchen? Yes or no?
No.
No. Two foods that go together but don't go together. So the example I give here, I don't know if you've tried it because you've been in and out of the Philippines for so long. The example I give is green mangoes and bagoong. Have you tried that?
No, I tried the green mangoes, but I've never tried the
The bagoong?
bagoong.
You have to try it. Two foods that go together that don't go together.
We'll say steak and fish. I don't know.
Any kitchen or dining accessory that you collect? So the example I collect salt and pepper shakers. I think they're cute. That's my little novelty thing that I like.
I like pans.
Good
Pots
cooking
and pans, yeah.
Good ones. What's your lazy go-to dinner that you cook? I know you said you cook, or maybe you order. Have the truck come by.
I like pizza.
Yes, of course. You're from New York.
Exactly. Or something else like a pasta too. A pasta with tomato sauce.
You're on the sofa watching a movie. What's on your snack board?
I like basically popcorn.
Popcorn. What's one ingredient that you can't do without in your kitchen?
Salt.
What's one kitchen gadget you cannot live without?
A pan.
Our chefs would usually say also knives, like one of their.
But I'm not the chef.
I'm
though.
not a chef either, so it's not knives. Favorite food memory as a child?
Visiting my father at his steakhouse and eating a great steak.
That's lovely. Okay, savory or sweet?
Savory.
Milk or dark chocolate?
Milk.
Spicy or sour?
Spicy.
Red wine or white wine?
Red wine.
And that wraps it. So red wine with our steak. Thank you so much, Peter, for
Thank
having
you.
us here at your new location.
It's a
Wishing you
pleasure.
well as you go on to your next venture. That's it for now. We are wrapping here at Wolfgang's Steakhouse Grill in City of Dreams, Manila. This is Michelle Aventajado. Keep cooking, keep sharing, and of course, keep safe, all of you guys.